Alright, we're ready to finally start building our bars for the rescue workers for our project. Remember, for this project, we'll be building a total of 4 sheets front and back using this recipe test data chart. The idea is that you'll make multiple plans for each and every bar you make, and you'll make 1 bar per day so that you get enough time to iterate, practice, and come up with the ideal solution for your bar. So let's go ahead and practice doing that with Rescue Worker 1 in the recipe test data so you know what that looks like. So if you've forgotten what Rescue Worker 1 needs, Rescue Worker 1 needs a lot of long-term energy, which means they want a low glycemic index, and they want a lot of carbohydrates with some protein. My goal is to make sure that each of their 3 bars is at or above 50% on average. So let's go ahead and try something and see how that turns out. So I'm going to start with trying raisins, because raisins have a medium glycemic index of 64. It's a little faster than I want, higher than 50, because 50 is about the middle. But it has a lot of protein and a lot of carbohydrates and some protein. It's also very cheap, so it's a good place to start when making sure I optimize my cost. So remember that you set the ingredients, and click Rescue Workers for a normal oxygen level, and send to the lab. So the first thing I can say right about Rescue Worker 1 is that they're getting their energy too quickly, and they're not getting enough of their protein needs. In order to chart this down, I have to take down every note for every test I do. So I go to my editor, and I go to my plan, and I write down what I'm doing. In this case, I'm doing plan 1, and I'm building, you'll have to forgive my handwriting, a bar for Rescue Worker 1. I'm building a bar for Rescue Worker 1. Step 1 was to try all raisins. So my plan with the all raisins was to give them a medium glycemic index, a lot of carbohydrates, and some protein. I'm targeting rescue workers. For the design team, it's just me, Mr. Andrew. And today's date is the 18th, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen. And I tried 100 grams of raisins. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look through the rest of this. I need to find the protein, carbohydrates, and glycemic index. I can find that on the right side of my screen over here. So as you can see, protein is 3, carbohydrates is 97, and glycemic index is 64. So I'm going to record that. So 3, 97, and 64. Now I need to take down the test user data. And normally we'd ignore test user 2, 3, and 4, but because we're testing one person multiple times, we're going to collect extra data to find averages and record that data in there instead. Let me show you what that looks like. So for test user 1, I'm going to record 36, 68, and 25. So I'm going to put down here 36, 68, and let me check it one more time to make sure I had it correct. I believe it was 65, or 25, sorry, 25. 25. Okay, so now that I've collected this test data, I need to make sure I write down the remaining information, and then I can go back to this. So taste score, cost per bar on people served. The taste score is an 8, the cost per bar is 74. Taste score is 8. Cost per bar is 74 cents, so not even a whole dollar. And then the people served is 13,513. Alright, so now I need to find the test user for these the data for these test users. So to do that, I'm just going to go back and forth like this. So I'll go back to the lab, and you'll notice the numbers are slightly different. This is because this is a different group of rescue workers who have different body types and different opinions. So it gives us a better idea of the average for our bar. So in this case, it's 40, 64, 25, 29. So I'll write that down here. 40, 64, 29. And then for test user 3, I'll go back, and I'll send it back to the lab to get another group. You can see this group in particular didn't have a great time with their growth and repair needs. So it's 25, 63, 22. So I'll go in, and it's 25, 63, I think it was 22, 22%. 22%. And then I'll do it one more time for test user 4, back and forward. 37, 70, 37. 37, 70, 37. All right, so I can calculate the averages for these with a calculator. I won't do that here just so we can keep things moving along quickly, because I don't want you to watch a 20-minute video. But to give you a quick at a glance of where we're at, it looks like it's roughly around 32 or 33. And I'll write that number here, 32. This one is pretty clear. It's around 66 or so. And this one is pretty clear. It's probably around 30 to 31. So obviously these values aren't high enough. So I need to analyze my data and find out what am I missing. So right away my analysis tells me a couple of things. I need more protein. And I can tell that because of this value here at 32. 32, not enough. All right, so now I need another thing to look at. I can see that percent energy needs are met after 15 minutes, so I can say that they are all meeting their energy needs right away. So immediate energy is good. And then lastly, I need them to have more long-term energy. More long-term energy. All right, so I've completed one side of this sheet, and now I'm going to move on to the second side, which is the testing side, which essentially is version 2 of the same plan. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in, which is building a bar for rescue worker 1. This time, I'm going to modify it for more long-term energy and more protein. All right, so go ahead and join me in the second video to see what I do to modify this so you can have more long-term energy and have more protein in your bar.